We got one dream and that's we got one scheme and that's one theme and that's my whole life and that's one love. One love, got one dream and that's one love. One love, we got one scheme and that's one love. One love, that's one theme and that's one love. It's one love, my whole life. I said there's two of us, we got one dream and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Between the both of us, we got one scheme and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Our life together has one theme and that's one love. I said that's one love. I'd rather die than live my whole life without that one love. And you that one love. I said there's two of us, we got one dream and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Between the both of us, we got one scheme and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Our life together has one theme and that's one love. I said that's one love. I'd rather die than live my whole life without that one love. And you that one love, girl. All these girls keep chasing views like they doing something. They ain't doing nothing. And all these boys keep making moves cause they assuming something. Everybody doing fake friends like they crew or something. But all these people make my stomach sick like the flu or something. They crying X, 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 X cause they prince is gone. We might just flex, 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 flex cause I'm money long. They selling sex, 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 sex cause it's selling strong. I might just bag a check, 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 girl, and take you home. Yeah, real love, I owed you. Real love, I showed you. I wish for once that you would back me up, but I can't expect that I know you. Cause we been there and then we came through it. Backstabbed and then we undo it. A lot of people said they come through, but when it came to it, ain't one do it. We got one dream and that's we got one scheme and that's one theme and that's my whole life and that's one love. One love, got one dream and that's one love. One love, we got one scheme and that's one love. One love, that's one theme and that's one love. It's one love, my whole life. I said there's two of us, we got one dream and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Between the both of us, we got one scheme and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Our life together has one theme and that's one love. I said that's one love. I'd rather die than live my whole life without that one love. And you that one love. I said there's two of us, we got one dream and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Between the both of us, we got one scheme and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Our life together has one theme and that's one love. I said that's one love. I'd rather die than live my whole life without that one love. And you that one love. I got my head down, arms are up. I didn't think life would be this rough. Back and forth, we went do-si-do, and then I packed my bags and I hit the road. We were making moves without a clue. I took my love away from you. Looking back, all regret. My chin is up and you puffed your chest. Cause we're coming for the go, girl, we won't stop. Working and we grind until we hit the top. Everyone is waiting for the love that we are chasing, and the haters will be hating, but we won't stop. Cause we running and we gunning. So watch out, cause we coming. One love, we in our feelings, and it's not gonna crumble, yeah. We got one dream and that's we got one scheme and that's one theme and that's my whole life and that's one love. One love, got one dream and that's one love. One love, we got one scheme and that's one love. One love, that's one theme and that's one love. That's one love, my whole life. I said there's two of us, we got one dream and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Between the both of us, we got one scheme and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Our life together has one theme and that's one love. I said that's one love. I'd rather die than live my whole life without that one love. And you that one love. I said there's two of us, we got one dream and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Between the both of us, we got one scheme and that's one love. Yeah, that's one love. Our life together has one theme and that's one love. I said that's one love. I'd rather die than live my whole life without that one love. And you that one love, girl. And you that one love, girl. One love. One love. One love. And you that one love, girl. One love. One love. It's one love. hundreds, new friends, new money, new bands, new hundreds.
Yo, Kyle, this shit crazy.
Friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Yeah, my day ones know I post up, so just come through. If you say nothing, you glow up, she can come too.
He's heating up!
Can't say nothing when he choked up, so just cut him loose. We stay calm when we froze up, that's what diamonds do. Yeah, new island, stay coasting. Can't find it, stay ghosting. My silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting. Headlining the show then, reclining my throne and fine dining, you know it. Deep diving that, whoa, I'm the ruler, I'm known. All of my shooters stay closed, all of my jewelry cold, all of my Ubers are dope. Lex Luthor my role model, one queen and I throw models. So wet that I need goggles, all business and no drama. Cause all I really need is people commas. And all these logies exist. Cause all you niggas dogs no commas. So don't apologize, why? You see them still, nigga, just holler. Cause I'm the real nigga, just holler. Yeah, just holler. Waiting for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Said what you want, let me know, I'ma throw you bone then watch you go. You didn't even believe in this shit, you tried it once and then you choke. Cause y'all stay sleeping and I stay woke, making racks and y'all still broke. Sipping on that Henny Coke, y'all laughing, I ain't telling jokes. That's real talk and that time that's ticking, that's real clock. You heard that clipping, that's real Glock. Your life is slipping, that's real shock. My wrist is dripping, that's real watch. My crew stay whipping, that's real mock. My clothes stay dripping, that's real swatch. If you ain't gonna dip, you can still watch, that's real talk, my nigga, Like Afro Man rolled a coupe de ville, my nigga, Like Sam Crow, but I'm real grim, my nigga, All this cash flow, but I can't swim, my nigga, Out in Buffalo, let's meet at 10s, my nigga, Whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Waiting for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah, the new friends. Praying for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Norma.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3239 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on? Beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yahos. It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Evereston K2, flexing on all you beach.
Fucking Catalina wine mix.
All right, fam, welcome to the show, 3239, Wednesday, March the 19th. Welcome, Swole fam. Come on in, hit the thumbs up button, live on Rumble at the Daily Swole. Make sure you follow and subscribe and support free speech. And of course, making sick fucking gains in your ear holes. Thanks for being here. Appreciate every single one of you. What's up, Jen, Martial Arts Mama, Loretta, Jeremy? We got the whole fam coming on in. We got some great stories to go over. And of course, we'll get into some Swole fam posts first. Some questions. We'll probably pop on Instagram Live for some questions also. And then, of course, balls deep. We got a lot to go over, a lot of current trending stories, and some more things that I can say because I'm not on TikTok Live. I think I get my TikTok Live back this afternoon. So maybe tomorrow we'll pop back on TikTok Live. But I don't know. I had some problems with X today, too, because I was trying to say something apparently slanderous to Tim Waltz, even though it was very descriptive and very true. We'll go over that in the balls deep portion, but thanks for being here. Without further ado, let's get into that tip. Are you ready, Beaches? I think you are. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. Cerny, how dare you? How dare you use such terminology?
How dare you?
In the chat. And yes, retard was a part of it. I will say that retard was a part of it. But I eventually had to censor. I used asterisks and I got the post up. So it's on my X account. We'll show that. But there's some other flair. I wanted to use some other descriptive terms. And apparently X considers that hateful conduct. And I don't disagree, but he deserves it. So we'll go over that. Anyway, hashtag Make America Swole for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's change that backdrop to the USA flag. Let's go. Yeah! Very nice. Hashtag Make America Swole. Drop that in the comments down below. Alex already kind of knows what I said. You're on YouTube, so that's pretty sketchy. But yeah, well, it was close, Mark. Alex on YouTube has the second part of it. But again, we'll get into it. Everyone's really excited. But, and I love, I got an email from X saying, hey, you made this post, and it showed me the post. And I was like, for old posterity. I'm like, what's wrong with this post? What's wrong with what I said? What's wrong with what I said? All right. Anyway, before we get into the first Swole fan post, reminder that chicken is a vegetable. That's right. Chicken is a vegetable. Brand new merch now available over at papaswolio.com. 20% off the entire site. I cannot wait to get my chicken is a vegetable merch in. Today I'm rocking my Ozempic shirt, or lack thereof. Don't take Ozempic. Don't do stupid things. Go to the fucking gym. Make those gains. You can find out all about the new drops every single week. We got new merch on Mondays and other new awesome releases. papaswolio.com for all the merch. Go and check it out. Let's get into those Swole fan posts, shall we?
What's in the box?
Yesterday, 2 days ago, Monday, the Swole text this week was, what is your current training split and what adjustments have you made recently with your training? So let's get into a couple more of those Swole fam responses, and you can drop in the comments down below. Maybe yesterday or today you've made some tweaks to your programming. Drop in the comments down below. James says, I just started the 90-day dash again. Good stuff. On primer week, and it's a nice change to the old parentheses bro split. So very nice. The 90-day dash is always nice to go back to, especially if you need to, maybe you need to pivot a little bit. Maybe you need to go for a little bit less. I wouldn't say less intense training, but maybe go back to the foundations, the fundamentals. You're coming back from an injury or something like that. The 90-day dash is a great way to do so. Mike says, I'm almost 3 months into maximum swole and my split has been D1, which is shoulders and tries, back, legs, and chest and buys. And I've seen amazing results. I really like the combination of exercises, but last week I decided to switch it up. Using the same workouts and the same 4 days, I'm switching to upper or lower upper full body, heavy compound movements for lower and upper, full body heavy compound. So lower, upper, full body with heavy compounds, and then full body hypertrophy focus. So I'm curious as to what the difference between those two are. The goal is to hit the same muscles more than once a month with adequate recovery in between. I'm assuming you mean more than once a week, which is good. Full body heavy compounds and full body hypertrophy focus. And I will say, if you're making progressive overload, it's the same thing. So the idea that 3 reps is not hypertrophy is unfounded. And strength training is going to come with hypertrophy. You're not going to get stronger. You're not going to build muscle without getting stronger. So make sure you delineate that. I'm not sure what you're doing on the hypertrophy focus versus the heavy compounds, because both of them are hypertrophy. If you're progressively overloading, you are going to be building muscle. So it's a proximity to failure. And of course, we can follow up with that because I think Mike is here live watching. So, but good stuff. Sounds good. And like I've always said, when you go, let me go back to Mike's post. When you talk about full body, you can prioritize. Full body doesn't have to be anything other than you're doing a variety of body parts around your body. It doesn't even have to be every single body part. Maybe on one full body, you do push upper and then legs. Maybe on another full body, you bias the back, or you do 2 sets for back versus 1 set for chest. It depends on what you're trying to prioritize. That's all. Maybe you're doing legs and you're doing a little bit of shoulders and biceps because that's what you have to bring up. So you're doing shoulders and biceps first, and then you're hitting legs, and it's technically a full body day. So really your split doesn't matter. You can mix and match, which is really cool. You're not locked into only doing upper body exercise. You're not locked into only doing lower body exercises. You're technically not locked into anything. It's really about the frequency of the training and the frequency that you're hitting each individual body part, and that you're biasing more frequency towards the body parts you're trying to improve. Sheena says, I'm currently doing an upper lower split as I continue to recover from my sacroiliac joint being messed up. For the lower, I'm currently doing body weight exercises to build my strength back up. The muscles around the joint fatigue very easily. The back and hip yoga classes have been a godsend. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that you found and you're navigating a path. Mark says, so it's the lifts that are more taxing on the overall body, then second full body will include leg extensions and curls. Sure. So as long as you're delineating that and keeping in mind that if you're training full body every other day, it's very fatiguing. It's exhausting. So for example, if I do full body, I'm not always doing you want to make sure you're not just doing exhausting movements all the time. So there's systemic fatigue, there's local fatigue, there's different types of fatigue, and you have to keep in mind how quickly you recover from certain movements. There might be certain movements that just take you out a little bit, whether it's just overall physiological exhaustion or maybe local muscular fatigue. And when you do that, maybe you give a little extra recovery behind it, or you don't push as close to failure, or you monitor the volume, or you don't do it as frequently. So there's variety there. So just keep that in mind as you're adjusting your programming. And there's no right answer. There's just different adjustments based on your goals. And as your goals get more individualized, you can tweak. Just keep in mind that if you're trying to build muscle, you want to keep it as basic as possible. So if you're doing some fine tuning, hey, I'm trying to work a little bit more on the outer portions of my triceps. I'm trying to hit a little bit more of my upper chest. I'm trying to focus a little bit more on my quad sweep. If you're not getting on stage, you don't really have to worry. And it's probably detrimental to really focus on minor specific shapings of muscles. What you just need is more of that muscle. So if you're trying to build up your chest, you just need a bigger chest overall. If you're trying to get bigger biceps, you just need bigger biceps. You don't necessarily need more peak. Or a lot of times people are nitpicking based on their genetics and what they see in someone that's taking anabolic steroids, that's a professional Olympic bodybuilder. And they don't realize that if you just have bigger muscles, that's going to result in more shape. That's going to result in more quad sweep. If you have bigger quads, where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go out. They're going to go wide. You want bigger muscles overall. And then based on your genetics, et cetera, you are going to see the shape that you were meant to have. So just get those muscles bigger, and basic movements work. So like Mark was saying, or Mike was talking about heavy compound movements. That's fantastic. You know, all you got to do is progressively overload and take it from there, and find exercise that you like. Find ones that work well for your body. You might prefer a Smith machine squat. You might prefer a hack squat. You might prefer a leg press. It doesn't really matter as long as you're loading it progressively and you're consistent with it and you're able to recover. And you need to track. So like Cerny says, tracking is so important so you know where you're at and what you need to do. A lot of times people go to the gym and they just go to train so they can't do another rep, right? They just go and do leg stuff until they feel exhausted. And that's just kind of launching a boat into the ocean without having any navigation, without having a propeller, without having any direction. They're just going somewhere. They're in the ocean, they're sailing around, but they don't really have any direction. And a lot of times people go in a circle or they end up going backwards. They don't realize they're just doing work without having any specific intent behind it. So if you're going into your sessions and you don't want to over obsess or micromanage too much, as you get more advanced, you can fiddle around with the nuances, but bottom line, you want to make sure that you're fundamentally getting stronger and building muscle with just basic movements, and then you can add from there. So track that and track it closely. Hashtag Make America Swole for a chance to win today's Swole card.
The danger.
Drop that in the comments down below. Let's get into some questions. We'll get more into some of these topics. Let's load up Shitstagram for some questions. Drop them in the comments down below. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Alex on YouTube says, how the fuck does X still censor people? Another boomer social media app. Yeah, I'm a fan of free speech, but there's certain things when you post on X, and I've seen people post some real savage stuff and it gets a lot of reach. So it says, hey, you posted hateful or whatever content. It says, it doesn't remove your post. It just says you're going to get limited reach. So essentially it's not going to get shown. But I've seen people post some ridiculous stuff, and I don't know how. Maybe it's just because they have a larger account. So even if it doesn't get as much reach, it still gets a lot of reach just because they have maybe millions of followers on X. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because, well, if you're going to say we have free speech, I'm going to use it and then get flagged as a result. It's kind of a bummer. Mark says, I'm just trying to build up more strength and perfecting my form. Training is a never-ending learning process because there's always more and new information coming out. That's true, but it's really not any new information. It's just rediscovering fundamental principles. So yes, when there's more studies, yes, when there's more eyes on this research and there's more conversation, what you can do is kind of like distill down. And same thing with the 7 pillars. You want to always simplify. And one of the best Swole cards that we've ever given away, I have it right here on my left monitor, is Simplify and Amplify. So you want to make sure that your training is as simplified as possible without any fluff. And when you really try to take away all the extra stuff, it's like any kind of tree or shrub or something that you're pruning. If there's dead parts and if there's, let's say after a plant flowers, we do this in the garden all the time, and you have things like you have to deadhead and cut off all the dead parts because you don't want the tree or the bush to get sick. You want it to flower and to grow. So you want to cut off, and sometimes you have to trim back. Same thing with your hair. You get a haircut, you get a trim, and it keeps the hair healthy. You don't have split ends and dead hair at the end that can ruin the rest of your hair. Same thing with a plant. You want to make sure you trim and fine tune, and then the program can flourish. You want to get rid of all the extra stuff you don't need, which can lead to extra fatigue or maybe just redundancy. You don't want to do redundant stuff either, because if you're doing 2 exercise, we talk a lot about this with hip hinges and things like that. If you're doing 2 exercises that hit the same body part, you're not really getting more out of it. You're just doing, it might not be 2 sets of an exercise. You may be doing 2 exercises that kind of hit the same body part. So it's not really a valuable use of your energy. Why do 2 lat exercises in a workout when you can separate them and fatigue yourself less and just go balls to the wall in that one and alternate? And people think that they have to do everything in one session. But if you're training more frequently, you don't need that kind of volume. Just hit your lats in one way, one direction, right elbow tucked in, then do a wide pull down another time, then do a upper back row another time, and just kind of cycle those through. You get more frequency and the stimulus is kept high. All right, let's see. Chris on Rumble. Make sure you follow Rumble at The Daily Swole. Chris N2504, Papa Swolio, when you hit a plateau on a specific exercises, what are some things you do to push through to get that one more rep? Very good question. Sometimes you need a change of pace. Sometimes you've kind of tapped out with an exercise. You're not really able to progressively overload. So it's time to mix it up. Sometimes you need to leave an exercise behind for a little bit, or cycle something in fresh psychologically and physically to maybe break through a plateau. Other times it might be your form. It could also be that you are too fatigued. Maybe you're pushing too close to failure. So you can also back it off and leave a rep in the tank. You might be more fatigued than you realize, depending on your frequency. So that can help you break through by leaving one rep in reserve. A lot of times, and most of the time, it's not doing more. And if you're hitting a plateau, the answer is not doing more volume. Period. End of story. So if you're not able to break through X amount of plates or X amount of weight on a certain exercise, more is not going to help you get through. More is just more fatigue. So there's something with your programming, there's something with the stimulus, there's something with the recovery, maybe with your nutrition, maybe it could be carbohydrate intake, maybe it's sleep. There's other factors that can lead to you kind of hitting a wall. But all other things considered, if you've kind of hit that point, sometimes it's good to cycle through a different exercise and then come back to it. So if I'm stuck somewhere, I'll kind of shift away and do something else, maybe come back to it in a week or two. And sometimes you break through. Other times it might just have run its course for now, and then you come back to it, and then you might be a little bit stronger doing something else. So there's a lot of benefits to swapping out exercises after a while, even if you just feel like it. But a lot of times, if you only go by how you feel, hey, I want to do something new, and you've only been doing something for a week or two, you haven't really given it a full shot. And this psychological concept of variety can get in the way of your adaptations. So you want to make sure you're not just changing it because you feel like it, you're changing it every other workout. You're not going to build any adaptation. So you really have to stick with it for a bit. But once you're at some weight and you're kind of like hitting a brick wall for several sessions in a row, it's time to change it up. It's time to either readdress your fatigue, readdress your programming, maybe how you're training it. If you're always training a certain exercise 4, 5, 6 sets in, prioritize it, bring it first. If it's something that you're trying to bring up, you can prioritize it, and or you can swap out an exercise. So it's a judgment call. It's a judgment call. Mark Papasolio, for sissy squat on the hack machine, is it better to keep your feet lower or do more of a Tom Platz variation? Well, Tom Platz has his feet low on the platform. So I like Tom Platz hack squats. I've done it with my lifting shoes, doing it more like a squat. Understand that when you're doing any kind of squat pattern. And so the Tom Platz hack squat style is feet low on the platform. Doesn't have to be at the literal bottom, but low on the platform, feet like a V, kind of keeping the pressure on the outer portions of the feet, letting the knee go over the second toes, keeping them wide. So you're squatting kind of like a duck. And I really like that. I like my heels coming up. But I have also found that on my Cybex hack squat, I don't like them literally at the bottom. I like them a little bit further up. A little further up. I let my heels come up, but I feel better. If you bring your feet higher up and you're getting deeper into the hole, all you're doing is you're getting more adductors. So that's really the variation, especially something like a leg press. If you have your feet higher up in the platform, you're going to get less knee flexion, but you're also going to get more hip flexion, which is going to hit your adductors more in the hole. So at the bottom of a hack squat, if it's not banded or anything, you're getting more adductors just because of the strength profile. Your quads don't have great leverage in a fully flexed position when the knee's fully flexed. So at the bottom, you're getting more adductors, and then as you come up, you're getting more quads. This is why sometimes people put a reverse band or they use a pendulum squat where the tension increases as you get closer to knee extension. So you're getting more quad stimulus. But in terms of sissy squats, you're talking about keeping the hips extended. So you're talking about the knees over the toes, keeping your hips extended so you're getting more of the rec fem. So what you said, keep your feet lower or do more of a Tom Platz variation. Keeping your feet lower is how he did the hack squats. So the sissy squat is different than the hack squat. The sissy squat on the hack squat machine, you're not going to have much weight at all, and you're keeping your hips more extended. That way you're hitting the longer rectus femoris on the top of the quad because you're keeping the hips more extended. This is another reason why people like doing leg extensions, because you're not getting as much rectus femoris activation when you're doing a squat. You're getting more vastus intermedius, vastus medialis, and vastus lateralis because your hip is changing angle. So as you're doing a squat, you are in knee flexion, but you're also in hip flexion, which means that the rectus femoris that's crossing the hip joint gets slacked, so it's not getting as much leverage as the other quad muscles that are only crossing the knee joint. So if you want to hit the rectus femoris, it's good to add in some sort of hip locked position like a sissy squat or a leg extension. Dark Sage. Breaking news, the JFK files tell us that JFK is currently dead and is not currently alive. And there is no way to know if he's coming back. Can you imagine if JFK comes back? Well, here I is. He wasn't dead. He's not dead. She love Dior Juju. Papa Soil, what's the most important thing to do before the gym? Go to the fucking gym. You can't do the gym until you go. What's the most important thing to do? Hydrate. Take a poop. Make sure you're not pooping at the gym. You don't want to shit yourself during sissy squats. Hydrate, electrolytes. Good stuff. The most important thing. There's many things. Kara Alexis. That's a good question. No, don't have sex before you lift. You're going to be weak as hell. Do you dream? That's an interesting question. Do I dream? Not that I remember. I don't remember my dreams. Anyone else? Anyone remember their dreams? I don't. Sometimes I do, but I don't remember them. Sometimes I'll have vivid dreams, but not often. Albert Northard, Papa Solio, where do you go to find quality eggs? I want to start having 5 to 10 a day. I would check local farms. Local farms. We have local farms that we go to. You can order them online too. You can find quality eggs at Whole Foods and stuff like that if you don't have one in the area. Check a local farmer's market or local farms. Farm fresh eggs, nothing like it. Nothing like it. I know there's a search feature on realmilk.com. Real Milk will take you to places where they sell raw milk. And to be honest, if there's a place where they sell raw dairy, they probably have eggs there too, just saying. So it's usually farmers markets and places that have those kinds of foods. B. Mirth, ¿Dónde did you learn Espanol? In school and living in Florida. And dating some lunatic Latinas. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not recommended. It's fun, but not for long. All right.
Hi, puppy.
All right. Kara Alexis, what do you use for skincare? I use a combination of jojoba oil and beef tallow lotions and stuff like that. That's what I use. And eating healthy and getting sunlight, not eating seed oils, getting sun on my nips. You know how it is. Marcelo Castaneda. Papa Soy, what's your strongest exercise? Hip thrusts.
Because.
Last one from Instagram stories. We'll take some live ones if you have it. Let's see. Armand Siraj, 2099. Are there any benefits from weed? I'm sure there are. And I know there's different types. I'm not an expert, but I know a lot of people use it, and there's different types and different things for different applications. And I'm sure it's definitely better than pharmaceutical interventions. So I'm not here to tell people what to do or how to use these different things, but there are a lot of people that might use edibles or smoke a certain strain or this, that, and the other, and they're not taking all these garbage pharmaceutical interventions instead. So whatever works for you, I'll let you all drop your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, some more questions. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag ask Papa Swolia. We'll take some more questions or topics. Space Shuttle says, I farm chickens and ducks. I'll sell you some. That's what's up. Alex, anywhere with raw bull milk. If you can find If you can find raw bull milk, that's the best. It's best as fresh as possible. You want it to be warm. Straight from the teat is the best for raw bull milk. It's salty, but it's worth it. Do you have online merchandise which can be delivered to India? I'm pretty sure we ship everywhere. So we do have online merchandise. Go to papaswolio.com. We ship worldwide. I'm pretty sure we ship to India. We ship. Man, yesterday it was like Ireland, Switzerland, Iceland, South Korea, UK. We ship stuff internationally all the time. I'm pretty sure we ship to India, but the website will tell you if they're not able to ship it to you. So check it out, papaswolio.com. Candyman, for your app, do you offer a veteran discount? Not through the app, but if you send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, if you're a veteran, first responder, yes, we do offer membership discounts, but you'll have to sign up through the website, swolenormousx.com. So go over there in the FAQ, you can send us an email and the team will hook you up with a link. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We've always offered military, law enforcement, first responders. For show. Absolutely. Absolutively. More questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Drop in the comments. And if we don't have any more questions, we'll move on to some stories. Just going to chill here for a second. Positive Charisma. Speaking of skincare, do you know of any minimal / close to natural sunscreen? I'm a strawberry / ginger. Cutting out the oils help a lot, but burning it is inevitable. Do I know of any? There are some products like tallow that has like zinc oxide and stuff in it. I would say bring clothes, wear a hat, get a little bit of sun, go in the shade, build up sparingly. A lot of times people just don't build up, and we're talking sunrise sun. Early in the morning, early sun. That's great for a lot of people. That's a great way to set the tone for your day and your circadian rhythm. Morning sun's very, very important. Very important. Why am I not in the fucking gym, Alvaro? I'm answering your chode questions, so drop them in the comments. Why am I not in the gym? Because I'm answering your questions. Can't do both, man. Can't do it all at the same time. That's what she said.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States. And
sorry about that. I guess whatever key I hit is like an automatic key to go back to a certain screen. We're starting the show over. All right, Chris. Apologize for the intro playing again. I have to be careful with the keystrokes, apparently. Okay, Chris N. Papa Swolio, if you were dating a nurse, don't recommend, that is 100% against Ozempic, but a lot of her coworkers were on it, would you wear that shirt you have on to her work party knowing she'll lose work friends? Absolutely. They're not her friends. They're acquaintances. They're coworkers. I would absolutely wear the shirt. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100,000%. What a great application of wearing the shirt. Dating a nurse, that's the first thing there. That's the first part. Good luck. I would absolutely wear the shirt. She should wear the shirt. She should wear the shirt. What a great shirt. What a great shirt. Can we stop calling it healthcare? Can we start calling it, can we change that to sick care? It's very Orwellian. Ministry of love. Ministry of peace. Healthcare. Yeah, how many people in healthcare are healthy? No one's going to the hospital or to the doctor when they're healthy. No one. It's called healthcare, but all the sick people are there. Yeah. Interesting how that works. Sure, it's healthcare. Sure. We'll pretend like it's healthcare. She's a school nurse. Hopefully that makes a difference. I know the reputation they have, but she seems to be the exception. She's a good one. Well, good. Well, good. So she's going to wear it to like a school nurse, like a elementary school nurse or a high school nurse. Oof. That's even better. That's a great place to wear a shirt. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, now, easy on the nurses. All right. Okay. All right. I can't have any fun.
This house is a fucking prison.
Can't have any fun here.
Planet bullshit. In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks.
The nurses heard me. The nurses heard me with their arm sleeve tattoos and Jeep Wranglers. They heard me. They heard me. Oh, they're angry. They're angry. All right. Good stuff. How we doing, Instagram? Drop your questions in the comments. Thanks for being here. Looks like he will be in lockdown again. TikTok all over again. No, we're not doing that again. Dust off Bravo. Hey, I'm not anti-nurse, just for the record. I'm not anti-nurse. Everyone's giving me their nursing stories now. Dust off Bravo says, as a former paramedic, there are two types I would never date, and nurses are number one. Look at that, Karen. It pays the bills. No tats, but I do have a Jeep. I knew it. I knew it.
Emotional damage.
I knew it. How'd I guess? All right. Nurses are to Jeeps as lesbians are to Subarus. They're just magnetically attracted. Nothing wrong with Wranglers, by the way. All right. Let's see. JF Alcaro, Pampasuolio, or J Falcaro. I hurt my shoulder about 4 days ago in the gym. I'll try to rest it. Do you have any alternative methods or suggestions? Beat off with the other hand. Switch. You're just getting tendonitis probably. You probably have an impingement from overuse. You should try to rest it. I can't really give you any specific details. Hurting your shoulder is kind of vague, but I would analyze why your shoulder is bothering you and do corrective exercises. Maybe some dead hangs, some posterior rotator cuff work, check your form. Let's see. Jay-Z Stall, what's your opinion on a keto diet? It's been working for me, but I also want to start lifting more and heavier. I don't like it long-term. I don't like carnivore long-term, like straight carnivore, no carbs. Keto is pretty much similar. Same concept. If you're actually doing ketosis, you're in ketosis. There's really no such thing as a keto diet per se. I personally have not found it ideal or logical for heavy weight training. So it's good for an elimination. It's good to cut down things. A lot of ultra processed foods are going to be impacting your blood sugar. So if you're getting rid of vegetable oils and seed oils, all those ultra processed oils, and things like high fructose corn syrup and additives and things like that, generally you're going to be eating more animal-based meat and fruit pretty much, and maybe some select vegetables and things like that you found how you cook and prepare that you prefer. That's totally fine. But that's what we do over at SwoleNormousX.com with the elimination diet. We help you navigate all the foods out there and learn how to customize and individualize your nutrition. Mark says, hold up, I drive a Subaru. Ayo. Also, though, if you are... Look, Subarus are great cars because if you're in a cold climate, four-wheel drive, usually you see a lot of those up north just because you need the four-wheel drive. And they're really the only cars that are not SUVs that have a lot, pretty much across the board four-wheel drive. They're really great for up north. I grew up in Connecticut. There's Subarus everywhere. We had a couple when I was growing up. Michelle Papasolio, who are the worst drivers in your opinion? I think Subaru drivers are the worst. Oof. I live in Florida, so everyone's driving sucks. Probably people that have a Ford Mustang. I'm just going to rag on Mustangs. Anyone have a Mustang here? Easy target. Pretty much anyone. Anyone down here in Florida. Everyone down here in Florida can't drive for shit. And then anyone that does drive well has to drive like shit to avoid people that drive like shit. So everyone kind of just snowballs to driving like shit. Jarella says, we have a Subaru and we love it. My bearded, manly husband drives it. Yeah, it's just a trope. Nothing wrong with the cars. My mom had a Subaru until it got flooded and totaled. So they're good cars. Just teasing. But it's true. It's true. A lot of, I don't know why. Why do lesbians like Subaru so much? Why is that a thing? It's interesting how it became like a thing. But South Florida is notoriously the worst place to drive. I think it's the most accidents for a certain area. I think the worst or the most amount of accidents, I think it's 95 by Fort Lauderdale Airport, I think is like the worst stretch. North Miami area is also bad on 95. It's just brutal. It's brutal. I think it's the worst based on the area or amount of accidents per mile or something like that. Yeah, I can't imagine driving in Atlanta. Any major cities are just... Eesh. LA freeways, yeah, but that's just a lot of traffic. That's a lot of traffic, so you're not really driving fast. You're locked in traffic, barely moving. Jarell, I won't say what I drive because y'all will make fun of me. Now you gotta tell us. I won't say what I drive because y'all will make fun of me, LOL, but 17 years old and reliable as fuck. Good for you. Good for you. Both of my cars are over 10 years old. Reliable is all that matters. Ooh, classic. John says my first car was a 1990 5.0 Mustang convertible. Still have the keys back in the day when there was one for the door and another for the ignition. That's right. That's right. Oh, wow. That's right. Separate keys. All right. No more real questions on Instagram. Fam, if you're watching on Instagram, come on and find the rest of the show on Rumble at The Daily Swole. We are going to continue, and we're about to get into some real good stuff. My favorite Kurt Russell movie. Ooh, there's a lot of good ones. Kurt Russell. One that pops in my head right away, Executive Decision. That's a good one. There's a lot of great Kurt Russell movies. That's a good one. I haven't watched that in a while. Steven Seagal. Throwback. This is the first one that popped into my head. What's another good? What's all of your? What's a good? What are some other good Kurt Russell movies? Just add them to the list. A lot of good movies. Stargate. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Escape from New York. All right. We ready? Cool. All right. We're moving on. The Daily Swole on Rumble. Come on, watch the rest of the show. Thanks for being here. Instagram, appreciate you. Got a couple good questions there. Let's move on. Balls deep time. We got a lot to get into. That's deep. All right, let's do it.
Hi, puppy.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
All right. So let's see what we got here. Let's scroll through some of this. Now we're just gonna scroll through. Let's go into some of the X-Files before we get into a couple things. Fam, drop in the comments 1, 2, or 3. We'll get into a couple of videos. I saw this on X. Gal Gadot receiving her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now tell me, look, I don't care about Hollyweird. All of them are just, the whole industry is just complete garbage these days. But can someone tell me why? I remember it used to mean something. Didn't you have to be famous? Didn't you have to like be in good movies? Why is she getting a star on the Walk of Fame? What has she been in that was really good? That would earn her supposedly something to be like this is something that I thought this was something kind of like retiring your number. You know, Jordan, Kobe, Shaquille O'Neal, you know, you're a legend in the sport. You get your number retired in the rafters, right? You get a star. What? What is this? Is it just how much you pay? Is it just how much, like, you give them $500,000, they give you a star? Okay, she played Wonder Woman. I never saw that. That was garbage, wasn't it? Who cares? What has she been in? Fast and the Furious? She was in one of those. What else was she in? Seriously, what has she been in to be on the Walk of Fame? Like, she's known and know the name. This has to be some sort of thing you pay for. Yeah. Someone in the comments said that's how'd she get this star? For what? And someone said exactly what she's doing in the video because she's on her knee. She's on her knees.
Wait, your biggest stickers? Here's of this.
Great. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, I don't know what she's getting the star for. I know who she is, but aside from Wonder Woman, I can't tell you anything she's in. Who the hell wants to watch that movie? All right. So let's do this. This one's funny. And I thought this was funny. This is a parody, of course, as you're going to see. And this is about the girl. We did the Drive Mulgaining on this last week. This is about the girl that accidentally whacked the fuck out of that other track girl. So let's watch this this video. This is accurate, right? This is what actually happened. You ready? Here we go.
I would never intentionally hit somebody with a baton in the head.
Bitch. Is he bitch?
But I wouldn't do nothing like that ever. I would never inflict pain on anybody.
Drop kicking her.
Type of person. I would never do that to nobody. You have to believe me. Why would I do that to somebody? If you look at the footage, you will see that I'm innocent. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a monster. Oh, God, that was great. That was great. Well done. Well done. Well done, good sir. Well done, good sir. All right, a couple more stories. A couple more stories we're going to get into. Obviously, or some of you, if you're paying attention to the news, you know that a lot of like local district, judges and stuff like that are, I guess putting out all these injunctions and stuff as if they have more power than the president of the United States. So from Pop Base, a federal judge has indefinitely blocked Donald Trump's ban on transgender people serving in the military. Now, now this is insane stuff because the president is the commander in chief, the head of the military. A judge does not have more power than the president. So it's irrelevant. Trump should just ignore this. It has nothing to do. Judges have no power over international politics, international diplomacy, military actions. It does not mean anything. This is just virtue signaling. And it's just, I guess, more fuel that they're trying to say, look, he disobeyed an order. Judges are not more powerful than the president. That's insane. That's insane. So mentally insane people should not be serving in the armed forces. That's pretty much what this bill stands for. If you are a man, you have a PP, XY chromosomes, you are not a woman, period. Same thing if you're a woman, you're not a man. It's very simple. If you're a rock, you're not a fish. If you're a fish, you are just simply not a rock. So we cannot have mentally insane people serving in the military. If you want to put on a dress, cut your dick off. I mean, I don't agree with it. We shouldn't be incentivizing, and we shouldn't be promoting mental illness. And they should absolutely not be serving in some of our most like secure and, high level, potentially like, classified operations. They should not be serving in the armed forces. There's nothing wrong with making a rule like that. So if you're mentally unstable, you should not be serving in something like the military. From End Wokeness, this is why you have stopped hearing about the price of eggs. This is why you've stopped hearing the left bitch and moan about egg prices, because of course Biden and the Biden administration slaughtered thousands or millions of chickens, and the irrational, illogical shutdowns and lockdowns and X, Y, and Z, bird flu, this, that, and the other bullshit. Egg prices went through the roof, supply, demand, right? Supply goes down and then prices go up, plus the inflation. It's kind of like a vicious cycle. So February 28th, $8 a dozen. March 7th, $6.85 a dozen. March 14th, $4.15 a dozen. And then March 18th, yesterday, I suppose, $3.45 a dozen. Now, I don't know where these numbers come from. I don't know where all these numbers come from, but people always have been talking about egg price. I haven't seen any increases or anything crazy with eggs. I mean, we have eggs at the store, at Whole Foods, or at the farmer's market. Prices seem to be the same everywhere. So wherever we are, I mean, eggs have just been eggs. Maybe it's because we've always been getting higher quality eggs, so I've been paying a little bit more anyway. Haven't really noticed it. Maybe, and again, if you're in these systems, right? You're going to a Stop and Shop or something, and your network, or you're in a city, and all you have access to are these high mass-produced, feedlot type eggs. Those types of places, the animals are more sick, viruses and things spread, this, that, and the other. I understand how the supply would go down, and it can shock the supply and raise the price. But if you're getting farm fresh eggs, and that little ecosystem is going to stay the same. So support your local farmers, like Space Shuttle Door Gunner says. Absolutely. So I haven't seen any limits, but places like California, California, obviously they're going to limit one per household. That's fucking insane. That's insane. That's insane. And you might want to, again, move out of these horrific areas. But anyway, that's why you have stopped hearing the left bitch and complain about eggs, because, oh, now they're no longer more expensive. Let's go back to Ukraine, or Elon Musk is bad. Burn down Tesla dealerships. That kind of stuff, right? It's on to the next thing. On to the next thing. That's all it is. All right, should we get into what I got flagged for hateful conduct? Should we get into that? All right, let's watch this video of Tim Waltz. Let's watch this video. I apologize for you having to be exposed to his retardation, and I'll explain why I got banned. But I got it out there. I got it out. So let's play this video.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping.
Is this like a stand-up routine?
And if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you.
Elon's a national hero, and he's a brilliant dude. Period, end of story. I don't see this guy populating space with satellites, sending missions to Mars. I don't see him creating an international internet network, building tunnels under Vegas. I don't see him creating solar panel farms for cheaper energy. I don't see him creating a domestic, electric car company. These people are just insane. So you have here someone who is trying to run for vice president of the United States. You have someone here gloating over an American company, essentially getting firebombed, and, oh, Tesla's now a right-wing thing, which is insane. I thought these were this is the hypocrisy of the left and the Democrat establishment. They're evil people. And the problem is they look like it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, because they're going to pretend like the climate is changing and everything. There's going to be no more ice in the world. Everything's going to flood. I've been living in Florida for 20 fucking years. Everything's the same. I thought Florida was going to be underwater. Wasn't it supposed to be underwater? Yeah. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's totally fine. Oh, cool. It's the same. It's exactly the same. Remember, it was global cooling. Cerny remembers that. They were fear-mongering. There's going to be another ice age coming. Then it was global warming, and that didn't work either. So, it's changing. Ooh, it's changing. Oh, my goodness. Tell me more. They keep changing the name and the concept of the boogeyman to make it as more vague as possible because they keep on getting it wrong because it's not a thing. It's not an existential crisis. What's more of an existential crisis is the lack of population. We need to become a multi-planetary species. And of course, we need to have more babies. We need to create more value. And there's plenty of land. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of technology to be created. There's plenty more energy on the planet. It's just a big grift. It's an absolute big grift. So you have someone who's, pretending to be, I guess, for the people or for America, which is a complete scam. He's laughing and gloating about an American company, getting terrorized. So I called, and here's what happened. So I posted it and I said, Tim Waltz is a retarded faggot, because I felt that was the most descriptive way to explain. It was descriptive. It wasn't to be insulting. It was just explaining Tim Waltz. So I said, Tim Waltz is a retarded faggot. And then I got flagged for hateful conduct. So I had to asterisk all those things. So I said, I keep getting flagged for trying to call Tim Waltz a retarded faggot. Maybe this will work. So I put a lot of asterisks there. So I tried doing retarded and then asterisk over one of the G's. Didn't work. So I tried doing retarded and then all the asterisks over faggot, and it didn't work. So it's like, all right, what do I got to do? What do I got to do to get this post done? After a couple attempts, I just decided to get the point across because I want to make sure that people understand that he's a retarded faggot. So I put all the asterisks there. So America for the win. I just thought it was simply descriptive. And I was trying to be I'm trying to be cordial. I'm trying to be, forthcoming. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that he is a retarded faggot. And I think I got my point across. And it feels great to say it. Now everyone knows. Okay, now I can move on. But that was my stressful situation. That was my morning. It was a very trying time, but I got it through. Before we move on, let's do one more. There's a bunch of little snippets. I want you guys to listen to Chucky Schumer on The View, which is a brutal clip, making fun, essentially, of Americans that want to keep their hard-earned money. All right? Trolling small businesses, acting like the government is some amazing beneficiary. Governments are inherently evil. This is why the founding fathers put so many checks and balances against government overreach. And of course, over time, the corrupt bureaucracy human nature has evolved into this virus, this disease that has infected our entire society. So watch this video and tell me that this guy shouldn't just go absolutely fucking kick rocks. Listen to this.
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes.
Yep.
Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, the land and water that I own, or my employees. They hate government. Government's a barrier to people. A barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Okay, good.
Jesus Christ. So he's literally, taxation is theft. What, so you can line your pockets, bro? Like, this guy is a literal scumbag piece of shit. Small businesses are the bedrock of this country, and capitalism is the bedrock of our society. So we shouldn't be paying taxes for most of the shit. It should be something that's voluntary. It should be something that's local, and the federal government should be shrank down. Well, I have a good analogy, but I'm not going to say it, but absolutely minimalized. The government should only be dealing with federal, judicial issues and international relations. That's really all the government and military. That's all the government should be doing. So absolutely wasted, 100% theft. Just think of all the money that you spend every month. I know it's tax season in the next couple weeks. A lot of you guys are getting your stuff in. If you're a business owner, you probably have a few more months. it's just circle jerk after circle jerk. So every time they print money, again, it's theft. Every time money is printed, every time you have these entitlement benefits sent to people who are not producing any value to society, you are getting robbed. Your savings is getting robbed. They're just pissing your money away. And if you're not furious, then maybe you don't have a pulse. But if you're a business owner, this is why they try to shut down. That's why the government always tries to shut down and steal your property and shut down small businesses. Because if you're a business owner, you're essentially captaining your own ship. And when you are a business owner, you realize how invasive the government is. You realize how many limitations. They just constantly try to cut your fucking legs out from under you. And you're giving them money where you can actually, if you had the thousands and thousands and thousands, and in some cases millions of dollars to invest in your own business, you can actually provide more value, lead to more deflation, lead to providing more services to people. More capital will be going into the economy because you're paying your workers more, you're hiring more people, you're producing more services. Instead, you're sending it to these corruptocrats, and they're just sending your shit overseas to Ukraine that no one fucking cares about. Most people don't even know where Ukraine is on the map. And I, for sure, don't want any of my money going to Israel, to Ukraine. I don't give a fuck. I care about my family. I care about my business. I care about my customers. They can all like literally just handle your shit. Handle your shit. You don't need my money. You don't need my money. If I was paying for like a local stop sign or for redoing the roads in my local area, that's a whole different conversation. You can choose what jurisdiction you want to move to, and there could be different laws. I'm not saying there again, like different states and different counties, there's different rules and regulations. You want to live here, here are the rules. That's fine. You can move somewhere else. But I want to see the actual fruits of my labor. If I'm paying $1,000 or $100,000 or whatever it is, and I'm seeing the results locally and I'm seeing the improvements, that's different. Okay, you want to live in a nice area, everyone pitches in. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. But the government is always something that's going to expose evil people, sociopaths, psychopaths, people that just don't care. They don't care about anyone. All right. So that was fun. That's what's going on lately. And of course, the title of today's episode is The JFK Files. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what happened with JFK. If you don't know, there was just like a document dump. It's like 1,200 pages. So in the next few days, I mean, a lot of people with AI and, you know, a lot of people that know a lot more of the background, they're going through all these pages or going through all the notes, going through all the additional information. So we're going to see more and more stuff about that. I don't really have anything to add. I don't know if you guys saw anything, but I'm going to leave like the autistic people on X to sift through all that data and let us know if there's anything new coming out of it. A lot of people are posting, hey, all those JFK files, did anyone find anything good? It's just too much stuff. Most people aren't going to be going through it. So I don't know if you guys saw all that, but stay tuned. I'm sure you'll start hearing a lot of things or things that might fill in the gap, or from just stuff that I saw, it just pretty much confirmed that the CIA killed JFK, but maybe there's some more stuff in there. It just seemed like it just collaborates and confirms what a lot of people already assumed or knew. But anyway, the title, JFK Files Prove That Seed Oils Were on the Grassy Knoll. Ayo. It was the seed oils after all. It turns out seed oils killed JFK. Who knew? I thought it was, Oswald. I thought it was someone, that canola oil. It was canola the whole time. It was canola oil. Did you guys know that? Jesus Christ. Wild. And then seed oils took over, and then they infiltrated. Seed oils took us off the gold standard in 1971, and then it's just all been downhill. Who would have thought? Who would have thought it was seed oils this whole time? That's why RFK has been so adamant against seed oils, because they're just taking out everyone. Wow. And that blew my mind. With the documents released. So that blew my mind, but, It is what it is. All right, let's see. It was his thigh. Oh, it was his thyroid. Oh, his thyroid. All right. Let's see what we got here. Did anyone pick a number? I think I said pick a number 1, 2, or 3, and then we moved on. Let's go with LET123. Number 1, this is called Changed Passport. And I'm assuming this is one of those trans things where it's like an X on your passport. Let's see what we got here.
What's in the box?
Changed Passport.
What it's like being transgender under this new administration.
In case you wanted to know what it's like to have a mental disorder, I'm going to explain.
I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male because of Donald Trump. In case
Because you're a man. That's why. Because you're a man and you look like a man.
don't want proof, there's my picture, very cunty. And yeah, there's that big ugly M. Now, mind you, all of my other documents are updated to female, and I've been fully surgically updated to female. But this is what they had to say.
Fully surgically updated to female. People, if you're a woman and you're watching, how does that make you feel? You could be surgically updated to female. So if you cut and invert your dick so you have a hairy puss hole, you know, add some silicone breasts, you can be a woman too. Did you know that? You could just be a woman.
The sex was corrected on your passport application. The changes were made for one of the following reasons. To match our record. I had a passport when I was a kid that I used once. So basically, it doesn't matter that all of my other documents say female and that I've had my sex change surgery.
You're not a woman, bro. Not a woman. Just because you have a front hole doesn't make you a woman. Just because you push your pee-pee inside doesn't make you a woman. Did you know?
If you had a passport in the past that displays the opposite sex, then they will not honor your gender change. Now, obviously, I will be seeking legal action. I am an adult, and I have undergone my full medical transition.
I have undergone my full medical transition. I've undergone it.
Nothing about me anymore that represents
Are there any
male
women
on the
here
exterior whatsoever. The only thing that them denying to put female on my passport does is put me in danger while traveling. That's all it does.
Puts you in danger. How? Tell me why it puts him. Why does it put him in danger? Why? What's the danger?
I'm in danger now.
Why? You're in danger of people laughing at you? You're in danger of people telling you the truth and not LARPing?
Only doing this to scare people like me because they.
What are you in danger of? Can someone tell me where the danger is? Someone, please tell me why you're in danger. Why is this person in danger?
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think.
What's the danger? What's the what's the danger?
They don't want us in public life. They want us to hide in fear and be scared of them. But
I would love for you to hide from public life. Personally, that's a plus. That would be great. I would love for you just to like not go online and, you know, live your life, but not put that in front of everyone's face. I wish.
Trust me, I'm not going anywhere. Trans people have been here and we're staying here, and I will fight this.
I will fight this. Is that how women talk? Cool. Yeah, you're not in danger. I mean, well, let's see. Wiper, no wiping. Isn't it like a huge wound? Yeah, I mean, this is a safe space for logic and common sense. So, yeah, it is a huge wound. What you're doing is you're taking the penis and you're inverting it. So you have a hairy, open wound. if you have a penis, you know you have hair. When you invert it, you have hair inside. So you get to, I guess someone that's gay gets to stick their penis inside your front inverted penis wound hole. Should we bring up a picture? Anyone want to see some? No?
You lose.
Okay, no pictures. Beyond Meat pussy. That's right. And Beyond Meat is gross. Oh, it's a hairy fleshlight. God damn it.
Chicks will dig you. Or dudes, or whatever gender thing you're into.
All right. Moving on. How do we move on from that? Welcome to the show. If it's your first time,
What's in the box?
maybe it's your last time, or maybe you're like, I've been looking for a show like this my entire life. Well, you're in the right place. You can't hurt anyone's feelings here. Welcome. Say whatever you want in the comments. Just do it on Rumble so you don't get banned. Fat phobia and racism. Fat phobia and racism. Here we go.
Is how much people fucking hate fat people. They just hate them. Like there's like this weird hatred it feels almost akin to racism.
I don't hate fat people, believe it or not. We talk about this every time one of these retards makes a video like this. I don't hate fat people. I hate the fact that I hate what some of these people say. It's not fat people. We have fat people in the Swole fam because you're trying to improve your life. Okay, that's one thing. But when you're trying to virtue signal, pretending like it's something you achieved, that it's something that what you're doing is you're trashing your body, living in denial, and then blaming everyone else for telling you the truth. You're blaming everyone else for saying things you don't like. So it's like a virtue signaling marginalization shield. You're creating something yourself. That's what you're doing. Hey, let me stay fat and then blame everyone else for being mean rather than improve my life and take care of myself and not be a gluttonous slob. That's pretty much what we're saying. Let's continue.
This is not like
Jesus
racism.
Christ.
It is racism.
Sorry for the jump scare. Wow. Holy shit. Okay. All right.
That's a huge bitch.
All right. My God. Bug eyes. Why the glasses? Why are they so big? Why are your glasses so fat? I'm glasses phobic, especially that size.
Into racism.
This is not like racism. It is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness.
Oh, we're doing that again. Okay. No, it's not racist. Jesus fucking Christ. These people are idiots. No, it's not. Yeah, fatness is not racist. I do not think you understand what racism is. And I do not think you understand about immutable characteristics. I cannot change my skin color. I cannot change my height. I can stop eating Twinkies and cake and Cheetos. I can do that. So you're fat because you're choosing to be fat and you make consistent poor choices, and then you're pretending like that's something that you've earned and that you're just perfect just the way you are. Cool. Have fun having no friends and no pee-pee in your life. Let's continue.
And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness.
It is not my place as a smaller bodied white man to comment on it.
Proximity to whiteness. This is why there's so much student debt. This is why our country was sliding into the fucking gutter for 4 years, because these lunatics were running the asylum. So if you're not morbidly obese, you are achieving or pursuing proximity to whiteness. Proximity to whiteness. Okay?
The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people. And
well, that escalated quickly. So if I encourage people to not be morbid fat fucks, I hate black people. That's what you're saying. I also don't hate fat people. I hate victims. And when I say victims, I hate victims that aren't victims. You know, people that victimize themselves. It's a grotesque personality trait. It's a gross way to leverage power and to get attention. It's gross. It's like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum and you feeding into it. These people are just, they never grew past 3 or 4 years old. They never grew up. They have no personal responsibility or accountability for their actions. They're trying to create a bubble around themselves by just pointing fingers and projecting their anxiety and their insecurity outwards. It's insane.
Appearing curvier, bigger is associated with blackness, especially black women, and that's why they're discriminated in the workplace, overly sexualized, and this has gone back for centuries and centuries.
Oh yeah? Don't explain any of that, just say it. If you say it, it must be true.
Systems of oppression, capitalism, sexism, racism, it all comes back to white supremacy, which is the foundation of the fabric of America.
It's not.
And rules every sector and aspect of our society.
It doesn't. And that's it. Okay, you're a fucking retard. Again, another
What
retard.
you just said
Got another one.
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
What is the best move to silence a woman?
Make America Swole, hashtag Make America Swole for a chance to win today's Swole card. Yeah, she's not black. No, this is the problem with this country is literally liberal white women. That's the problem. They have useless degrees, useless education. It's not really education, useless indoctrination. And again, when women don't get that lovey-lovey and they're lied to by a culture and a government and feminism that they should be boss bitches and go to college and work in a corporate environment for 30 fucking years like a man, they end up old hags with a lot of cats, no family, and all that pent-up anxiety and fear just gets amalgamated into this rage that they project outwards. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it's unfortunate, but this is all of our fault. This is the culture. This is the culture that we've created, and we have to undo it. But unfortunately, these people, there's no coming back. So you have to point, laugh, make fun, and keep on moving on and hope that people come to their senses one at a time and let everyone else kick and scream in California and New York. And they're going to suffer the consequences. Get away from these people. Get away from these people. The only thing worse than weak women are weak men. Weak men allow for weak women to take over. That's the problem. When you have weakness in society and a female-run society, which we don't have, but we kind of, like, it was, we had the example of a female-run society. And we talked about this, like, in the workplace, jobs that people have where the managing staff or everyone that runs the business is female, and there's a lot of female in control and HR and stuff in businesses. It's a fucking disaster. It's a nightmare. And we went over this a couple weeks ago. Everyone was giving their own examples. It's brutal. It's not a good environment for a reason. Okay, last one, and
what's in the box?
We'll wrap up. This is called MAGA Cult. And this is I guess a campus interview or something with Charlie Kirk. Let's check it out.
Do you agree/disagree that the Make America movement, Make America Great movement, again, MAGA movement, is a cult?
No. Why don't you explain to me and the audience what is a cult?
Of course. Okay. Do you know any characteristics of a cult?
Sure. I mean, you could take the Jonestown death cult, of which there was a charismatic leader that constantly lied people, and they took him out of everyday normal life and leads them towards ostracization and cutting off of family ties. Am I getting closer to describing the Democrat Party?
According to the... No. What I'm talking about is MAGA. According to the Bethune Cook University website, characteristics of a cult include isolating members and criticizing them for leaving. Would you say that members of the MAGA movement will criticize others for leaving?
Well, yeah, I mean, but you guys criticize players that transfer out of the University of Tennessee football team. That's not a cult. I would encourage you to dig deeper and be more of a free thinker.
And I will, and I am a free thinker. And I grew up in a conservative household, and once I left my parents and their beliefs, and I moved to college in a very conservative state,
Yikes.
I actually become more progressive.
Okay, and so how is your relationship with your parents?
I mean, it's fine. We don't agree on most things, but...
Wait, so they didn't kick you out for having a different opinion? They're terrible cult members.
Holy fucking owned. Holy shit. Here's another thing that a cult does is you don't realize you're in a cult. That's another telltale sign. You're brainwashed. You do anything that the leader of the cult, being the Democratic establishment, tells you, right? Joe Biden is sharp as a tack. I've been saying he was actually mentally impaired and retarded since like 2019 and 2020. He was half dead when he ran in 2020. That's why they kept him out of the spotlight, because he could barely talk. He's always been a racist piece of shit. He's always been a mess. And this is the reason why our country is in this situation, because being in government incentivized scumbags like Joe Biden to thrive and suckle from the American people. He's done nothing his entire career. Just an absolute nothing burger. And if you're in a cult, you don't realize you're in a cult. Why can't you support Donald Trump and want to make America great? You still don't have to agree with everything he says. So I don't consider myself MAGA. I do want to make America great again. I don't like associating like I am this. It's not my identity. But talk to me about a specific issue, and I'll use logic and common sense to explain why I believe a certain thing. It's pretty straight and simple. What the Democrats do is just whatever we say, whatever we're supporting, whatever we're against, you go along with it. So now the party, quote unquote, of climate change and saving the environment, we have to get off fossil fuels. Why are they demonizing Elon? Why are they trying to burn down Tesla dealerships and key cars and attack people that own Teslas, people that just own Teslas? It's because they were told to. Why do they support Ukraine? They don't know. They just do. If they're told to support X, Y, and Z, they will support X, Y, and Z. Whatever is opposite to Donald Trump, the Democrats have done and will do. And apparently they don't change their ways. They're going to continue to do. That's what a cult is. They're just reactionary, and anything that Trump does is bad, so the opposite must be good. That's why they're trying to support violent criminals. That's why you have these Democrat judges that are trying to limit Trump sending violent criminals, violent illegal criminals in our country to El Salvador. They're trying to stop these flights because why? Because it's the opposite of what Trump is trying to do. Why do we want violent criminals in our country? We don't. Get them the fuck out. Send all the violent criminals to El Salvador. Let Bukele deal with it. It's cheaper, and he has the space, and they have the situation down there where it keeps them off the streets and out of our fucking country. Get out. Right? Why is the Democratic Party trying to support and defend violent criminals? You tell me. Just tell me. What would the reason be? It doesn't make any sense. You want criminals? You want violent criminals? The problem with liberals and progressives is that they're always defending like inanimate, abstract thoughts, right? Hungry people in China, Ukraine, Palestine, or climate. It's always these inanimate or distant. It's never the person that's shitting and injecting heroin right outside their apartment complex. It's never the violent criminals that are burning down their city next to them. It's never about actually their community. It's always about these abstract concepts. Why is that? Why is that? Why do you think that is? I'll let you decide. Okay, let's get into a throwback. And then we're going to give away today's Swole. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, pumpkin face. Let's do a pumpkin face.
Medical fat phobia. It doesn't affect me. I'm not fat.
goddamn right.
You shouldn't need to be personally affected in order to recognize and care about the oppression of others.
Easy there, Mr. Rogers.
But actually, in this case, anti-fatness does do harm to people who aren't fat as well.
He's so red.
Oh, please, do lecture me again. Gladly.
Did you just change your clothes?
You know how doctors will often ignore fat people's symptoms of illness and tell them just to lose weight instead of actually treating what's going on?
Usually what's going on is that they're eating too much cake and they're not exercising. And they're trashing their health, which is why they're in the doctor's office like, what's wrong with me? Your habits. Why do I feel this way? Your habits. Oh my God. You just can't untard some people. All right. Well, let's do this. That was Pumpkin Face. Let's do one more. Let's do one more while we're here. I'm in a good mood. Let's do this. My medical knowledge. What's this one? Let's do one more.
Medical knowledge that I learned throughout the years does not get consumed by all of my fat cells.
Yeah, but you've been brainwashed with whatever the institutions want you to think, and the pharmaceutical companies. You get no nutrition education in medical school, so there's that also. No exercise education, so there's that as well.
The list goes on and on, really.
Obviously, I'm just like joking around right now, but I do have videos on my channel that are more sincere regarding how patients actually take me more seriously, especially when talking about weight, because I am someone that experienced the thing that they are experiencing right now.
Obesity and organ failure. Yay! Fat Dr. Float.
I arrive in America's airport with clothing, US dollars, and a jar of gypsy tears to protect me from AIDS.
All right, fam, thanks for being here. Hashtag Make America Swole. Drop it in the comments. Let's give away today's Swole card. Come on now. Great show. Great rip today, fam. Thanks for being here. Appreciate ya. Appreciate ya. All right, we got a winner today. It is Jeremy. Jeremy Beast Mode. Congratulations. What's up, J-Bomb? Hey, oh. All right, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3239, the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Reminder that we got some new merch. Chicken is a vegetable. Chicken is indeed a vegetable. Check it out over at papaswolio.com. New merch. If you haven't picked up this drop, I can't wait till mine comes in. It looks great on a mug, looks great on a shirt, looks great on a hoodie, on a flag. Go check it out. Chicken is a vegetable. Everything on papaswolio.com is 20% off. Go and check it out. And of course, if you're ready to join the fam today, join us swolenormousx.com. We got new yoga and programming and awesome new recipes and master classes and much more coming up this week. And we do new drops every single week. So absolutely fantastic. Go and check it out. And all the information over there at swolenormousx.com. Thanks for being here, Beaches. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint. What the fuck is you saying? What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my